Hello and welcome back. In our session 3 of converting proper fractions to a decimal number, we're looking at those fractions that we have to divide to convert into a decimal number. And if you're ready to convert some proper fractions into a decimal number, let's get started. On. So in our examples today, we are going to be converting those proper fractions into decimal numbers that we're not able to simplify or reduce any further. Those numbers would already be in their simplest form, so we'll have no choice but to perform our division. So in converting our 19/25 into a decimal number, remember that we're dividing 25 into 19. And as always, for the sake of persons who may be following along that may not be as good in division as some of us, I will be going through all of the steps for our division. So 25 can divide into 1. So that will give us our 0. 0 times 25 is equal to 0. 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. We're going to bring down our 9, changing 1 into 19. 25 divides into 19 0 times 25 is equal to 0. 19 minus 0 will give us 19. Remember at this point, this is where we add in our decimal points. And remember, that's why I stress you the importance of making sure that your numbers are correctly aligned so that your decimal point will be placed in the correct position. So after adding in our decimal point, we're now going to add in a 0, bring down that 0, and change our 19 into 190. So the approach I took in dividing 25 into 190, I thought about a dollar, and I know that with 25 times 4, that would equal to 100. And I know that 25 times 3 will give me my 75. So I know that in total I can get 725s out of 190. So 7 times 25 will give me 175. So I'm going to subtract now, and then I'm going to borrow from my 9, which will become 8. And my 0 will change into 10. So 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. 8 minus 7 will equal to 1. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. I'm now going to add the next 0. Bring down that 0, changing 15 into 150. 25 will divide into 150. That'll be 6 times. 6 times 25 will equal to 150. And 150 minus 150 is 0. So my 19/25 as a decimal number will be 76 hundredths. Okay, so let's try another example. You can feel free at this point to pause the video and convert your 11/13 into a decimal number, and then when you're ready, unpause the video to see if you and I got the exact same answer. So remember that we are dividing 13 into 11, and again I will go through the entire steps of my division. So 13 goes into 1 0 times 0 times 1. 0 times 13 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 1. We'll bring down the 1, changing 1 into 11. 13 goes into 11 0 times. 0 times 13 is 0. 11 minus 0 is 11. We're now going to add in our decimal point because we've already divided into all the numbers in our whole number part in our numerator. Add a 0. Bring down that 0, changing 11 into 110. Now with dividing my 13 into 110, I kind of use some of my logical reasoning for this because I'm not too familiar with all of my 13 times table. But one thing I didn't know is that 13 times 10 will give me 130. So I know that at 10, I will already be past my 110. So I decided to go down 2 numbers and multiply 13 times 8, which then gave me 104. So at that point, I know that I'm in a good area since 104 is less than 110. I can then use my 8. So 8 times 13 will give me 104. And now we're going to borrow from my 1, make it 0, change 0 into 10. 10 minus 4 will give us 6. 0 minus 0 is 0, and 1 minus 1 is 0. We're going to add in another 0, bring down that 0, changing my 6 into 60. 13 will divide into 60. That will be 4 times, because 13 times 4 will give us 52. And 60 minus 52, that will give us 8. I'm going to add in a 0, and I think that after this one, I will stop at my 3 decimal places. I'm not rounding my answer to 3 decimal places, so I will just stop at 3 decimal places. So 13 will divide into 80. That will be 6 times. 6 times 13 is going to be 78. And when 80 minus 78, we will be left with a difference of 2. And I'm going to stop there in my division and state that my 11/13 as a decimal number will be 846 thousandths, or 0.846. And I'm going to indicate that this is to 3 decimal places. So I stopped at 3 decimal places, which means I didn't complete my division. So I will indicate that in my answer as well. Okay, so there you have it. I know that for some of us, division is a bit of a challenge and it can be a bit scary. But remember to go through your division digit by digit. Yes, it may be hard at first, but remember that with practice, you will get better, and you have to practice to get better. Okay, so make sure that you get some additional practice in, and we'll see you right here in the next video on Jules Math Tools, where we make math easy.